All right. Okay, good enough. And now the volume should be okay. I tried doing this and messed up a bit. Again, this idea was really good at the time, but it's actually making it harder as well to do my recording. I almost want to start all over again, but I don't want to lose all my progress, so just going with the videos is what I'm going to have to do. Anyway, on to what we're actually watching here. Alakazam, Mickey, Alakazam. Whatever that is he's using to cross between the worlds. I guess they just wanted to come up with something and introduce Mickey a little bit. Like the use of a shooting star one there, that's one of the ones that Sora gets. Was the first appearance in Kingdom Hearts 2? I think so, because he only had ones that were based on worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1, except for, like, some of the Ultimate Blades and stuff. But all of his early ones were all of those. Until Oathkeeper, Oblivion. Where's some of the others? Anyway. I would theoretically give him the arrow guns, which is one of the cooler form changes. Trying to line those up is so troublesome. I hope that they keep form changes going on. They did some cool things with them in Kingdom Hearts 3, including just how they need to expand it and give more form changes, I think, and also allow us further develop these other characters a lot and use them would be pretty fun, especially if you could, you know, even if you didn't have those main characters, but could use them as side characters for Sora and stuff. All sorts of interesting things that you could do with that. We'll see what direction they decide to go in, but so far, only one new Kingdom Hearts story has been officially announced, and it's another mobile game, which rather annoying. Okay, everything explored here. I feel like Axel with his Flame Keyblade transforming into his Chakram as essentially a form change was a really cool idea. We expect a map here as we do our... I just can't get over how bad Terra's big chest opening its magic recipe instead, not a map. I can't get over how bad that animation looks, just how silly it is. I mean, yeah, it's silly the way all of them like to twirl their Keyblade around before hitting the chest, but, you know, at least they're having a bit of fun. Terra looks oh so serious, assuming a samurai pose attack. Anyway, up to Master Yen Sid.
My name is Terra.
Yes, Ericus's pupil. I've been expecting you.
Have you indeed?
The unversed.
Yes, Master Yensid. I thought it best to seek the counsel of one wiser than myself.
That's usually a good idea.
I am no longer a master. I doffed that mantle.
Very unusual word, but
Sir,
appropriate for him, I guess. Don to put
wasn't that
on,
your
doff
pupil
to
I
take
passed on
off.
the way in? He had a Keyblade.
You refer to Mickey. He too sought guidance here. As a king, he is good and kind, but the weight of a crown has not cured him of impetuousness. He has left with an object whose power he does
Again,
not
the
understand or know how to control.
as fun little addition as it was, the River of Time, or whatever they called it, Timeless River, in Kingdom Hearts 2, created a lot more, like most of Kingdom Hearts 2, created a lot more questions than answers. How is he a king after being just a steamboat assistant? I mean, again, did he marry Minnie? Did he marry Minnie more than 10 years ago then? Because he's still a king right now. How long ago was Timeless River? How old is Mickey?
First, consider them one.
Of course, if he's really old, then yes, he could have been Yen Sid's apprentice when he was a Keyblade Master years and years ago. Mickey's already become a Keyblade Master, but...
Find Xehanort, Terra.
That was a
That is where you
slightly
should begin.
rough dual connection there. May your heart be your guiding key. Oh no, they don't start doing that until Kingdom Hearts 3.
Your heart would no longer lead you astray.
And then suddenly in Remind, they decide to make it the may the force be with you of the Kingdom Hearts universe. Our nice star-shaped windows. Okay, so the answers for Master Xehanort, but this is not going to go well. Although very conveniently for us, as soon as we leave this place and start flying, oh, Master Xehanort is talking to us telepathically.
Come see me at once.
I wonder what they're saying in Japanese that they're translating to Master. Considering that he was raised by Ericus and knows Master Xehanort mostly as Ericus's old fellow pupil and friend, I guess it makes sense that Terra would feel obligated to respectfully refer to him as Master Xehanort. But Sora's used it a couple of times too. And why would he feel obligated to give any kind of honorific to Xehanort? What is he using? Is he saying Sama, the most common thing that's translated as Master? Is he saying just San and they didn't want to use Mister? Because everyone else was saying Master? Xehanort San makes the most sense, but translating that to Master is kind of
I have been to other worlds.
hard to translate those properly, though. They use them so much more in
Japanese.
Japanese.
Someone had to safeguard the light from the demon I unleashed. You must know about the boy by now, the one in the mask. His name is Vanitas, a creature of pure darkness.
Someone had to safeguard the light, he said, but he didn't really explain what he was doing messing around with princesses.
Are you telling me he came from you?
Just kind of skates over that
Came
point.
from Ventus.
Ventus?
Yes. Vanitas is the darkness that was inside your friend. It was an accident. While training with me, Ventus succumbed to darkness, and there was but one way to save him. Strip that part of him away, and thus Vanitas was made.
We know that that's already kind of suspect because the intro showed
in the most horrific way. So,
when Xehanort was going to drop Ventus off in Destiny Islands, he suddenly conjured a Keyblade, and that surprised Xehanort. And then he decided to apparently take him to Ericus instead. But after possibly doing more with him, I don't know. But
Ventus has
of course,
gotten a lot better since then.
Terra and Aqua
You
would not
shouldn't
know
blame
that, but
yourself for trying to save him.
unfortunately, Terra develops a bad case of Hinamori syndrome with Master Xehanort just immediately.
So that's what it was.
That plus combined with the super, nice, fatherly affection he showed him when he lost his test of mastery, blaming Master Ericus for not understanding Terra is the only reason that he couldn't pass the test to become a master. And so immediately Terra jumps from the master that he'd known and loved and had been treated like a son to for so long to Master Xehanort. And Master Xehanort's doing these shady things, but he comes up with the story about Vanitas and Ventus. And instantly Terra is just totally smitten by this. Golly.
I'm Terra. What's your name?
Not only is Terra the most terrible character to speedrun,
You can
just
talk.
completely lousy in all of his mechanics and everything.
Aqua, come here.
But he is the most gosh awful personality and story in this game.
So, are you here?
Ventus seems a lot like Shion when she first started in 358/2, and even the first couple scenes of her appearance in the Remind DLC of Stage 3.
Whoa, what's the matter?
Are you okay?
What did
Poor
you do?
kid's overwhelmed. How long have they been here anyway? Aqua, again, another suspect thing from the intro, although this is a story writing thing. Aqua says to Ventus, how could you remember being anywhere else? You've always been here. Of course, Erica says he doesn't remember anything, so maybe Aqua's just referring to that, but it was badly translated. It makes it seem like those three were all raised together forever, but in that scene, they're obviously close to the same age. 2 years, maybe, I'd give it maximum that they could get away with not having them be younger. And I guess we don't know how young you can manifest a Keyblade out of nowhere, if your heart's attuned to it. Never explained that, but I don't know.
The world's teem with his ghastly underlings.
The Unversed.
He has no control over the darkness in his heart. The Keyblade is not his to bear. He's an abomination beyond hope of salvation. Lend me your strength, Terra. Right this wrong that I have wrought.
But I have no idea where to find him.
What I can tell you about Vanitas amounts to this. His darkness is drawn to the light which he seeks to disrupt, and then destroy. It stands to reason that he will strike next in the City of Light, Radiant Garden.
I wonder how he can know that for so certain.
Don't worry, Master. I'll take care of Vanitas.
Totally falls for the sob story immediately. Of course, from playing other games and stuff, we know a little bit about Xehanort. Kingdom Hearts 2 explained that Xehanort was Ansem's apprentice, which actually confused quite a lot of things for me too, because especially since I hadn't played this game through enough to find out, but I thought that that was his actual origin, and so therefore Ansem must have been super extremely old, but Ansem is not the actual Keyblade Master of Xehanort. That, combined with playing Kingdom Hearts 3 quite a bit before finishing this too, that all combined to confuse me. Here we are in Radiant Garden, which is still going to have the Hollow Bastion final level music. Again, it just so bothers me every time they use that music outside of Kingdom Hearts 1, because yes, it is epic music. It is perfect music for a final area. There are a few times in Kingdom Hearts 2 where it sounds appropriate. Although I can't remember if they even used that music during the battles of like the Thousand Heartless and the Final Fantasy battles and stuff. You have these epic battles in Radiant Garden / Hollow Bastion. Sure, let's go ahead and have that music going on, but we're not getting it here, for instance. When we're done with the battles, we're suddenly going to get that epic final level music in this peaceful, wonderful place. I actually really hate Diamond Dust. It's just so very short range in most of its abilities. Especially its finale. Unlocked a new limit. I need to swap that over. I hate these guys too. It's really hard to destroy them without them turning into that rolling ball and exploding, and then they don't properly drop anything when they do. I've got some sort of darkness effect on me. Oh, stop effect. That's so dumb. Just gotta get away from them. Explosions. I think one of the actual nice things about BBS as a speedrun is that there's so many regular fights you have to go through, and sure, it's a bit of a pain, but it also means that on non-level 1 runs, unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword, because on non-level 1 runs, you can get plenty of experience just from doing these set battles you're forced into. It makes it easier to ignore the any of the, just basic enemies you encounter along the way. But of course, in level 1 runs, where the real fun of BBS is, it handled, for the most part, level 1 spectacularly. And then suddenly Master Xehanort's here too, and Terra has to follow after him. Yeah, very good question.
Maybe he found something out.
Yeah, people complained about Anakin Skywalker's face heel turn in Star Wars Episode 3, but he's got nothing on Terra's... how quickly Terra succumbs to darkness and listens to Master Xehanort in this game. But with the ability to level up your abilities at any time and stuff, and get the ones you want, level 1 is an extremely good function in BBS. The way they multiply out the damage that you do so that you don't lose that. Just the various effects they've explained, and I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it all or whatever, but it all seems to just work quite well. Gives fairly challenging things. You can do ultimate safety strat still by getting second chance and once more, which super hardcore gamers like like Biscuit always wants the highest difficulty. I need high jump for that, I think. I don't think I've gotten yet. Looking around for somewhere tall to jump off of, but there's nowhere close enough, so looking around for some chests. Then I have to follow Master Xehanort. High potion. Sellable item. Terra's jump feels really clumsy, because he's so big. He's able to grab things from ledges more easily than smaller characters like Sora and Ventus. But still doesn't help him grab things like that, but it makes it harder to get off. I thought that's where Master Xehanort went, but I'm usually wrong. Can't go down there either, I know, but I'm going to try anyway, because...
Why can't I ever seem to remember this address exactly?
And Merlin appeared. Merlin is also from Radiant Garden, even though he looks nothing like the Final Fantasy characters who inhabit the rest of Radiant Garden. Including, of course, Master Xemnas and...
Excuse me,
Xemnas. Ansem the Wise and his various apprentices and stuff. They're definitely Final Fantasy in their design.
This book.
Did I?
Always an interesting choice that they picked Merlin from The Sword in the Stone, which otherwise is not one of the more popular or really well-known Disney properties. Okay, the Winnie the Pooh book.
That makes people stronger. If it's all right, Your Elderness. Might I
Your
have a
Elderness.
closer look?
That's a wonderful title.
The name is Merlin. I'm a powerful wizard, and I'll have you know a lot of wisdom comes with age. Anyway, as I said, the book is not mine, but I'd be happy to keep it here for you.
Thank you, Merlin.
Okay. Let's grab a few chests, and then maybe we'll take a look at this book. It's Winnie the Pooh book, so obviously my sister's going to want me to do the Winnie the Pooh world for this game, right? I don't even remember ever seeing it before, so I guess we will find out. I'm surprised I didn't try on my previous playthrough. I remember nothing about it. Oh well, I guess we'll find out next time, because I'm going to go ahead and stop it here.